I'm not sure this is uploading. If you're wondering why I'm not talking yet, it was just telling me that the thumbnail wasn't able to upload, so I'm wondering if it's even working at all. So, okay, looks like it is. And we've had some power outages here, and it's been fluctuating back and forth, which cuts off the Wi-Fi, of course. But also, uh, YouTube's been a little unstable for me lately. Hello, everyone, as you come in. I appreciate you being here. I don't like what I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen, and there are going to be people that will be upset at me for saying this, and I don't know if you can hear me. I thought you retired. Yeah, tinfoil hat. Yeah, I know. Why don't you stop asking me that question? And the only reason why I'm going to address it is because, I do. I want to just stop this. I just want to stop it completely. But I realize at the same time that even though a small voice, it's probably not the right thing to do to remain completely silent. So if you don't want me to be here, that's fine. But you go away, okay? And I'm not necessarily talking to you, tinfoil hat. I know you. Anyway, for all of you people that want to make an issue of that. Look, and I'm going to reiterate this. You've seen my posts over the last few days. I went out to the desert there, to the desolate area. I've talked about a few other things, and all I want to say is this isn't going to be a long live stream. I'm not going to answer any questions, but good morning. All along I've said to Trump, your rhetoric is not matching what's happening on the ground. I've long suspected, and I've said, I've had this presentation more than once. Most of you who've been around me know that I have said what I'm going to say now more than once. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I hope that Trump is going to go down the right path. Like I said, he's doing some good stuff on the economic side, but now I've got to ask myself, for whom? Who is he really doing that for? Because the other things are failing by and large. I mean, yeah, okay, SCOTUS, here we go with Kavanaugh again. And I blame Trump for that. I can explain why, but I'll tell you why maybe sometime in the future. All I'll say is that he talks and he doesn't do anything to protect those that supposedly support him. Assange. What's happened to Assange is indicative of Trump's attitude toward all of us. And I don't care if he's playing 4D chess with the intelligence community or not to try to stay alive. He has turned his back on some of those people that have been utterly destroyed for supporting him. Now, Assange didn't really support him, but he brought out the truth. And like I said before, he doesn't know who Assange is. He doesn't know WikiLeaks. Well, he must not remember also that he said he was going to stand by our Second Amendment. He must have forgotten that too. I once called him a slow-mo Hillary Clinton, that he was put in there to placate us, because if Clinton had got in there, we would have revolted right away. This way, it's been a slow frog cook. Raise the boiling temperature. I'll have a longer live stream about this later this week. I know I've said that before. I'm still waiting to see what happens on this McCabe thing, on the declassifications, which should have happened months ago. Ray saying that he's not going to turn over the texts and emails of McCabe to the Department of Justice, and he's not fired yet. I blame Trump for this. Everybody say, "Oh, look, he's either control of the executive branch or he's not." And if he's not, then let's just admit it that MAGA and CAGA are a joke, and that this country's going down, and the leftist Marxists are taking over because they've been in our institutions for a long time anyway. And frankly, it looks like to me that Trump is giving them cover now. I know people are going to get angry at me for saying that. Right, you change your mind. It's like I said, I've given him the benefit of the doubt. But look, this morning, Headlines with a Voice, you need to go look at it, put up a video. It's an hour long. You know, we saw snippets of when he was in that meeting and he called for, Trump, I mean, when he said, well, first we'll take the guns and then we'll go to court, which is exactly opposite to the Fourth Amendment. We only saw a snippet of it. She put up a whole hour-long part of that meeting, and it will shock you what he was doing. Yes, it's an hour long. You need to go look at it. Headlines with a Voice. It says 18 months ago, take the guns first and then go to court. That's the title of it. And there's another video maker. Most of you probably know who he is. High impact vlogs. You know, he's very informative, and he's one of those that I should have included in those sites where you should have gone to kind of keep track of things, because he really stays on top of it, and he's really been showing these moves by the government to basically not just infringe on the Second Amendment, but do away with it altogether. Maybe not call it that. Oh, they will one day. But they're definitely moving down that road. Now look, Trump has not protected the people that have had their First Amendments violated. Oh, they're talking to Silicon Valley. They're trying to work it out. There is no working this out anymore. He is not acting, and he's not going to. Okay? I think it's pretty obvious. He's not going to act against them. As a matter of fact, he's in bed with them now on this surveillance in our homes to see if we're sane or not. You know, the very same laws that he's talking about are the ones that they want to use against him in the 25th Amendment. Isn't that a little odd to you? Because it sure as hell is to me. He's either in bed with this entire conspiracy and he's kept our eyes shut, he's stopped our eyes and ears with these hopes, or he's plain stupid. I'm sorry. But I can't be like Dan Bongino. Even Alex Jones has gone back and forth on Trump at times. And now he's back on, Trump's the real thing. And I understand why he vacillates like that. He's got to hope. He's put his entire life and family and fortune on the line. And this damn bastard, calling himself the President of the United States, will not stand up and be counted. He's a big mouth. And it hurts me to say that. So he doesn't support his First Amendment, his followers on the First Amendment. He's letting them rot in prison, or be harassed, or lose their accounts. He doesn't want our support, or he'd be fighting for our support. He's not doing it. And I have to say now that I have to oppose him until he proves to me that he's going to do what he promised to do in his campaign, because that has not happened, with the exception of trying to change the economy around. And part of that is fighting China. I'm not sure that he's doing it to take down the New World Order anymore. I think he's doing it for some sort of a financial crony system, to give them the upper edge against their competition at that level. That's what I'm starting to think is going on here, because he's not taking care of the people, making sure that our rights are protected. You understand? Assange has been totally, that he doesn't know who he is and just totally forgot about him. Michael Flynn, he gives him lip services to hope that he'll be, protected and exonerated. But you know what? The excuse that he can't get involved in the prosecutorial situation in that, and all of these other things that are happening. Look at the people that try to defend themselves. I think they were the Proud Boys. I don't know the full situation, but they were attacked by Antifa and they defended themselves, and they got arrested and are facing prison. Look, and those were under state laws, so Trump can't really do anything about it, I understand. But the point is, he's not using his power of the presidency to protect the people's rights. On the contrary, he has now got this thing where he's talked about it this week, that he's figuring out, they're coming close to agreements on how to proceed on this Second Amendment infringement. I agree that mental ill people shouldn't have weapons, but it depends on the type of mental illness, number one. And number two, he's not talking about whether they're taking SSRIs or not, or any other type of prescription drug that alters their minds. The drug companies never come under scrutiny. Why? Oh, it's the same reason he's selling arms to Saudi Arabia, because it helps our economy. Oh, he wants to lower the prescription rates. Oh, that's a nice thing, and I'm not saying that's bad, but by the same token, he doesn't do anything to oh, the vaping thing. What an asinine thing for him to start worrying about. The vaping thing, I'm sorry. I know that there are bad people out there that are making some, and I don't vape, but they're making some clandestine companies or whatever are making a sub product that's dangerous. Okay, we'll go after them, but I'm getting sick and tired of these distractions from what his real job is. He has defied us and denied doing what he said he was going to do. He's just not going to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back at the point where I don't trust him. This entire thing on going after the deep state has been a big show, and to this day, nobody's been arrested. Oh, we hear that McCabe's indictment's coming up, and like I said, I'm going to wait and see if that happens, but that won't even be enough if that occurs. Oh, he's at a political, you've heard me say all these things before. He's at a political disadvantage, all this. No, I don't think so. No longer. His stand on not supporting the First Amendment, his stand on not protecting those babies that have been born and killed for their organs, he isn't protecting them. Do you understand how crazy that is? He has the power to do something about that because it involves interstate commerce. And he's done nothing but talk. As babies are being killed, oh, he'll get up in a rally and say, oh, we got to protect the children, and then he does nothing. Yeah, we're going down the tubes, ladies and gentlemen. And now he's going down this Second Amendment thing with these red flag laws. And I'm telling you, this mental thing, I don't know how, he might do a good job on defining what this is, but he's not talking about pharmaceuticals. He's not talking about, real psychosis or that type of thing. I'll bet you it remains on, basically people, they see a neighbor they don't like and they're going to call and have them raided. That's the danger of this. Or using these mental laws, as Stalin did, to jail his opponents. And I'm beginning to think his opponents aren't the coup plotters that tried to take him down. I think Tom Fitton better wake up. Maybe it's to identify the rest of us as the mentally ill who are calling for this. These coup plotters to be arrested. Barr, I don't trust him. I'm still not trusting him. And Trump now, what is he doing? Here we have this thing with the drone strike on the Saudi oil field. And who do they blame right off the bat? Iran and the Houthis? How many times has he been taken down that road? The false chemical attacks, supposedly by Assad on his own people. And he bought it off. He talked about how we've had 60 years of mistakes because of our intelligence community, and he thinks he's fixed it, and now he's going to believe what they tell him about the Iran situation? I can't trust him. I cannot trust him, and I'm not going to anymore. Sorry, my friend in California. Maybe I should wait another couple of days, and maybe I'll regret saying this. But as of right now, I've lost all faith in Trump. He is not out there to support and sustain the Bill of Rights. He is not. He has not shown any degree of loyalty to that. Quite the opposite. I could go on a lot of things, but I'm going to go. We're going to watch and see what happens this week. But when you see Trump in that hour-long video of Headlines with a Voice, where she downloaded the whole, I mean, it's It's going to fry you. It's going to burn you up. It's going to make you so damn mad that you'll wish that he had not gotten into office, that Hillary had won, and that at least we would have known we had a criminal, evil enemy in the White House without this pretense. I feel sorry for Melania and Don and Eric. I really do. I don't feel a bit sorry for Ivanka or Jared. I think that's part of the problem. Yeah, his unswerving devotion to Israel is better than his protection of the Bill of Rights for the American people. You're right. You're right. I've tried to help making this a common sense, reasonable, logical approach to what he's doing. And frankly, I can't. I can't do it anymore. And that just means that we're in trouble. You're going to hear Lou Dobbs, and you're going to hear Sean Hannity, and you're going to hear Jim Jordan, and you're going to hear Nunes, and I appreciate those guys. I think that most of them have tried to approach this from the right point of view, but we've all been played, apparently. And those who warned me about that, yes, uncle. I cry uncle. You're right. I think you're right in all too many circumstances. We keep thinking that we have to be loyal to Trump. And yet we do not hold him accountable to be loyal to us. To what he promised. To the very foundations of this government. Which are what? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in the Declaration of Independence. And in the Constitution, a Republican form of government that is, oh yeah, he's cut off some bureaucrats and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm beginning to think that it has something more to do with the economics of his class. Whatever that war that is going on between those elites at the top. He's not concerned about us. I don't believe it any longer. I don't. If this law goes through this week or anytime soon, they're going to go, I know it'll be proposed. Hell, what if he does an executive order, which is technically unconstitutional? But at any rate, if it goes forward and it gets through the House, no, I don't trust Booker. Look at Booker. He's put forward a bill that says, federal firearms license if you even give your gun to your kid. And really? Oh, my Republican insider will probably say, Roy, don't get upset. He'll probably veto that. It should never have gotten there in the first place. He gave them this wave back 18 months ago, just like Headlines with a Voice shows. Oh, it's not to identify them either. You'd have to be stupid not to know who's behind that. He doesn't need to identify them. All of us know who they are. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that the desolation is on its way. I'm sorry I've been fooled. But it really wasn't that I was fooled. It was that I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I understand his history to some extent. But at this point, what happens with these coup plotters? What happens with McCabe right up front? We've already been told by Trey Gowdy and Dan Bongino and others that there probably won't be any prosecutions of any of the politicians that were involved. Then what's the point? Small-time pedophiles are going to jail, but nobody at the top. Nobody. And I don't believe they're going to. What, he's gonna wait until 2020 and then all of this is gonna rain down to help him win the election? Well, in the meantime, I'm gonna ask you this question. If that's his strategy, how many more people will lose their accounts on the social media? How many more people will be killed by illegal aliens? How many more people will lose their rights under civil asset forfeiture? How many more wars will we get involved in? How many more babies will be killed for their organs after they're born? I think we've been played. I'm jumping on that train at this point. Trump needed to prove to us, those who put him into office, that he was the real deal. He has failed miserably. Again, nice SCOTUS picks, maybe. I'm not even so sure about that. Federal judges, yeah, maybe. But his failure on the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments has just driven me over the edge. I do not trust him anymore. And he knew what Bolton was. It's like I said a few days ago, Bolton was either, I've never been on the Hillary train. Get out of here, outlaw Billy. You idiot. You idiot. Liza Jean Williams, if you're on here, throw his ass out, please. What an idiot. Maybe you're the CIA operative. Maybe you're the IC, the bad hat. So, all I can say is like I've said before, ladies and gentlemen, I'm through giving him chances. He's outdone them all. He's failed on all of the ones that truly mattered. Thank you, Liza Jean. I appreciate it. Trump has failed on everything that really matters. Remember, I heard a commentator the other day said, well, he can't use the military to enforce civil law. Wrong! In some circumstances, you can. For instance, Eisenhower sent the military into the South to ensure that the blacks had their civil rights. Oh, yes, he can. All I hear from him are his excuses. Or nothing at all. You know what? He should have pushed the Second Amendment and really pushed getting the rights of people who have concealed weapons permits to carry them anywhere in the country like he said he was going to. We've never heard anything about that. I think there was a little movement at first and then it just went away. Oh, no. Now, if you get angry like I am right now, you become suspect as a mental psychotic or a sociopath. You can't get angry. As Ray said, you can't hold the government accountable because if you do, you're a possible domestic extremist or domestic terrorist. And the next move is what? You're a danger to yourself or others. I'm telling you, this has not made any sense. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But you know what? Things would have changed by now if I were. So, all those that support Trump unequivocally, without question, fine. But I'm not going to any longer. And I haven't from the beginning. And most of you should know that. I just hoped that he would hear us and that he would say, yeah, this is worth doing. But you know what? His agenda was never what he claimed it was. Can't be. It can't be. When you look at it, when you look at the evidence up front proves that it cannot be so. It cannot be. He needs to prove to us. He disbanded this whole thing in the White House right now on this attacking the Second Amendment. I might believe him. If tomorrow he said, or today, he said, you know what? I'm writing an executive order to the ATF that we're not going, and to the FBI and to these other places, that we're not going to enforce the gun laws anymore, A, B, and C, because they're unconstitutional. I'm calling them that, and the people need to protect themselves from this onslaught of these leftist socialists that are coming for them and our republic. Okay? And he's not going to do it. It's like Colonel Cooper said, and I'll do a live stream later this week. I'm just watching this thing on the coup, on McCabe, and now this Second Amendment thing. And the First Amendment's been gone for some time. It's really bad. But if If this goes the way I think it's going to go, we really have entered into the desolate land. Oh, I've got coffee. I do. How can we do it? You know, somebody the other day said, "What's our plan? What's the solution?" The solution is that we open our hearts and minds to the Spirit of God. And I know that sounds simplistic, but it's true. To right and wrong, to doing the right thing, no matter what it, standing on principle, no matter what anybody else does. We have no leaders that are willing to do that. And don't look at me to do it, okay? Are you out of your mind? You people says, Roy, why don't you stand up and do something? Look, who in the hell is going to follow me? I don't have any illusions of grandeur. I would if I could, But I talked about this a long time ago. Look at General Flynn. There's a 3-star general. Look what they did to him. You think a former lieutenant colonel can pull this off? Are you out of your mind? Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying, Liza Jean. What she's saying is that she hears that Clinton's foregoing the debates and will throw her name in at the last second. Yeah, I believe that too. H.A. Goodman's been calling this. He's another one I think is good. H.A. Goodman, although he supports Trump, And then I love Black Conservative Patriot, but he calls President Trump our beloved president. Oh, as much as I like BCP. Anyway, H.A. Goodman has been calling this that Hillary's going to run again all along. So what does that prove to me? That proves that Trump, if she does that, Trump was a placeholder to get us into a position where Clinton could win because we would all figure. First of all, leftist Marxists would throw her in there, right? There's been no enforcement of the voter fraud. He signed that executive order, and there's been no follow up on it. Nothing. No arrests, nothing. So it's all placation. So he's been a placeholder instituting the leftist Marxist New World Order plans. And I can even see that financially, economically now, why he's done economically what he's done. I kind of understand the Anglo-American establishment as the center of the New World Order. So that could be the reason why he's done this. That seems he's been a placeholder because, as somebody else pointed out, I don't remember who it was, they knew if they got Clinton in there, there'd be a revolt. So they had to slowly boil us. They had to raise the temperature slowly. And Trump has done exactly that on the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments at the very least. He has abrogated all of those. So we're on our own, just like I've worried about all this time. There's us people, the American people, the few who haven't lost our minds and gone down this road of desolation. There are us and God, and that's it. There isn't anything else. There isn't anything else. So I'm sorry I gave people any hope that Trump might do the right thing. And I don't care if it's because he's been politically bent by the IC and the pressures in DC. It's like I've called on other presidents to do. Come out and just tell us that it happened. I feel guilty to a great extent for this. That's all I got today, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's not earth-shattering or anything like that. The devil played us, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's what's happened. The devil played us. All we can do is ask God. And you know what? Historically, that hasn't happened very often. 60 million people killed by these banksters in World War II. Oh, some like 200 million people killed by these leftist regimes, and the United States is now jumping on that bandwagon. And all the appearances of Trump standing up to China, there's something else going on there. I'll see you later this week, okay? We'll do a live stream where I actually get on here and talk. I just wanted to get that out. Again, not that anything I say matters because my voice is so small. Thanks for coming, everybody. I appreciate it. You know, I talk to my friends. You probably think, oh, he's on here because he doesn't talk to his friends. Oh, no, we talk. We talk a lot. And, you know, some of these people are current police officers and former police officers and military people. And then just, you know, regular citizens. And some of them, I'll admit, their eyes are closed. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, I should say most of them. But some of them have their eyes open, and we do talk. And I do vent to them. But because of what I've done here, giving this hope out that Trump might be what he says he is, and he isn't. He is not. I just had to make sure that I cleared the record and my conscience, all right? He's setting us up to make us all criminals. That's what he's doing. And I can't see it any other way. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I'll see you later this week sometime. Unless, it might be sooner if we actually see McCabe indicted or anybody else arrested, which is really probably not going to happen. And depending upon what this task force or whatever the hell he's calling in the White House there, what they come up with on this Second Amendment thing. Because I think what it is, it's going to be a dragnet. I think it's going to end up being a dragnet or something that can be used as a dragnet to take anybody's weapons that they choose. I'm afraid that's where it's going. Like I said, our First Amendment's already been shut down pretty much. I mean, a few of us can keep going, but you know, those that really matter have just been attacked relentlessly. I mean, they've even done it to me. I've had a couple of videos taken down that I didn't take down, that they said I did, I didn't. Shadow banned, you know, the counts are changed. I've seen those things happen. I have. So they've done it to me as well, but nowhere near like they've done to others. All right. I'll see you later this week if something changes, okay? Or if we get any better news. Thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks. Pass those, go look at Headlines with a Voice and anything that High Impact Vlogs puts out. I think that's the kind of stuff we need to pay attention to right now. All right.